guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Carla, and on today's video we are going to be talking about how to keep tabs on your kids, teenagers, yeah, all of the above. So this is for all my parents, guardians, etc., older siblings that want to keep tabs on your younger ones. This is for you. Now, I would say that this would be best for you guys that are just thinking about getting your child a cell phone. It will be a little bit harder to do if you have teenagers, because you're going to get a lot of kickback and you don't want the hassle. You don't want the hassle at all. You're going to get so much kickback, frustration, and they're going to think that you don't trust them, and that's not what you want. You don't want to have a debacle between you and your teenager, because you already know how that goes. Their hormones and their attitudes already is one thing to deal with, and then you're adding to it. So I suggest that if you're thinking about getting your child a cell phone, this is the best time to do it. Not to say that you can't do it with teenagers. It's just going to be really, 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 really hard. I don't want to be rambling on too much, so I'm going to get into it. But I just would like to say that I did get my eldest daughter a cell phone when she was like 8 or 9, just because she was in gymnastics and dance, and she would get dropped off by the babysitter and she would need to be picked up. So I needed some line of communication with her, not being physically there with her, and knowing if she was going to be running late, or if, she got out early and needed to be picked up ASAP. So that's the reason why she got her cell phone so early in the game. But like I said before, it's best for when you are just starting off and getting your child a cell phone, because it just makes this so much easier to control and just to have under your belt as they get older, and not have to worry about, oh, mom doesn't trust me, she wants to do this now, or dad doesn't trust me, or whomever is wanting to keep tabs on these children. So, first things first, when you are purchasing them a phone, especially if it's an iPhone, please make sure, you guys, this is the key thing to keeping tabs and just being in control of everything, is having or setting up their line underneath your Apple ID. I get that it's a hassle for when they want to download things or when they want to do things, that they have their own Apple ID, but this is key. It's key. You must have everything under your Apple ID. Okay, please remember that. Your Apple ID, it has to be connected to. You cannot set up their phone underneath a separate Apple ID. That's not okay. That you lose all control there. You won't have any control at all. I'm not saying that you won't have control, that you can't be like, oh, give me the phone, I want to do this. But you just don't have the control that you would have having everything underneath your Apple ID without having to worry about anything else. Now, with that being said, I'm just going to tell you what doing that does when it's set up underneath your Apple ID and them having their phone. For one, you get all of their text messages. You see all of the apps that they download, because it comes to your device. Now, I used to have it coming to my cell phone, but it just got really annoying, so I stopped it from coming to my cell phone, because every single text message, every single call, every download of an app, it would come straight to my phone. I would have to delete, 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 and it was getting to the point where it was really annoying, and I just had to disconnect that from. I had to disconnect it from my phone. But everything now goes to my iPad. So I'm getting all the text messages, all the app downloads, all the FaceTime and phone calls to my iPad. So I can see everything there. So if it comes to a point where it gets really annoying for you seeing everything come to your own cell phone, then by all means have everything sent to your iPad or even your MacBook. You can have it go to your MacBook too. That's the great thing about Apple. When all the devices are connected, you can set it up to where you have it sent to different devices or whatever device you would like it to be sent to. And on that note, I'm going to get into showing you guys how to do this. Once you have the cell phone, you connect the cell phone to your Apple ID. After that is said and done, this is what you're going to do. Now, inside of your cell phone, and just another disclaimer too, you will need to, your phone is the headphone always for you getting and receiving everything. Now, on their cell phone, you're going to have to go in and click on your cell phone, click your cell phone number off of theirs, because they will be able to get your text messages as well. And I mean, you really don't want that. And I mean, it'll be annoying for them. They'll get annoyed with it too. So I mean, it's not like they're really trying to see what you were texting or saying, unless you're talking about them. But you will need to go inside of their cell phone and click off of your cell phone number as well. But let's get into it. So what you're going to need to do, you are going to need to go into settings. Can you guys see that? Go into settings like this. Is it? I don't think it's focusing. I need to learn how to do the end screen on the video. Can you guys see that? Okay, so you're going to go into settings. And then underneath settings, you are going to click on messages. Can you see that? So in messages, you are going to see, let me see if I can get up close. I don't think it's focusing. I'm so sorry, guys. You can't really see that clearly. There we go. So in messages, you are going to see you're going to see your cell phone number. Let's see. So it's going to say send and receive. Send and receive. You're going to click on that. So whatever numbers you have set up underneath your Apple ID, that you're going to see all those. You're going to see all of them. So I have my daughter's cell phone number, which is at top, and my cell phone number which is checked off. So what you're going to do is you're going to check their cell phone. See, I don't have it on my phone. It's on my iPad. So that's why it's not connected to my phone. But what you're going to do, you're going to make sure that their phone number is checked off as well as your cell phone number. And once it's checked off, at the bottom down here, you'll see start new conversation from, and then you could click on both of those as well. Check which one you want to start the conversation from, and so on and so forth. And with that, that's when you will start to get all of their text messages, all of their phone calls, all of their FaceTimes, just to kind of, see what is going on with them, what, what are they texting about, and so on and so forth. It's just a tool to help to kind of manage and see what's going on in your child's life. Not to say that you'll be checking it every single day, because I don't do that. I sporadically do it because I just don't have the time to sit there every single day and go through her text messages. I don't have that kind of time. I really don't. I get the text messages, but I don't go and like fiend to see what she's talking about. Like, no, she has a life. I have a life. It's just like what they say, what's done in the dark comes to light. If she's doing something wrong, it will fall into my lap. It always does. It always does. If anything is happening that I don't know about, it always falls into my lap and I find out some way, somehow. But sporadically, I do go and I check. I do go and I check. Yes, I do. But it's not an everyday thing. It's not an everyday thing. So she could be going in there and deleting things that I don't know about because I don't check it every day. I don't. So it's just one of these things where I mean, you could if you have that kind of time, but I don't. I'm not that parent that does. I have two infant twins that I have to worry about. I have a husband. I have chores to do. I have things to do. I have other things to worry about on top of, keeping track of her. But I'm not stalking her text messages or wondering who's FaceTiming her or, that case. No. On another note, I do have access to her Instagram and her Snapchat. I created it, so I have all the passwords. If she tries to change the passwords, I do get that notification as well. I have access to her email. And like I said, I get all the DMs that she gets, comes to my phone. I see all of that. Do I check it all the time? No. Do I check her email? No. I give her privacy. But if anything feels out of place, I know I can go and check and see if anything is going on. And that's what I'm trying to share with all my parents, guardians. This is a tool and this is a way for you guys to do so. But like I said, you need to make sure that all the phone lines of whom you're trying to keep track of is connected to your Apple ID. Now, with that being said, do it wisely. No, not do it wisely, but they won't know. They won't know unless you blatantly tell them that, look, I have tabs on everything that you do. Because I recently let my daughter know. I'm like, look, I have access to everything. Text messages, your IG, everything. I have access to all of that. So you need to be wary of what you're doing, what you're saying, how you're acting, and how you're, presenting yourself. Because I can see this. We can see this. So it kind of gives them a heads up on, on like, ooh, how to conduct themselves. They forget from time to time because, trust me, she knows, and sometimes she forgets that I have access to all these things, and she'll slip up and do not anything like erratic, but she will slip up and forget that I have access to these things. So they forget. They forget. Just because you might tell them, they will forget because they're, conducting and going on about their life as usual, as normal. So they will forget. It just becomes harder if they're a teenager and they already have their phone and you haven't done this and you take it and you start to do this. Then it's kind of like, why are you doing this? Do you not trust me? And on top of that, when they're connected to your Apple ID, when you go to Find My Phone, it's all connected in there. So on Find My Phone, like all your devices show up on there. So all the devices pop up on there. So if if Tanara was to tell me that, oh, I'm going to Molly's house, there's a few girls going to Molly's house and we're gonna like hang out for a little bit. I'm like, okay, you can stay for a couple hours, and that's that. Now, if I go on here and I click on, let's say, I click on Tanara, because right here. Now, it's telling me she's at school right now, where she needs to be. So I can click on her and see where her location is. And her location, she's exactly where she needs to be. She's at school. So you could definitely see that, but it has to be connected to your Apple ID, and and that's that. That's the only way it's gonna work. That's the only way it's gonna work, and for you to be able to track and and keep tabs on them like that. That's the only way. Unless someone else has another genius way of keeping tabs on their kids without having to connect your Apple ID, because trust me, it gets annoying. Thank God that, I can take it off my cell phone. I took it off my cell phone and have everything going to my iPad. But even now, when I do go to, do things on my iPad, it gets annoying because I'm getting all these notifications, all these text messages, coming in because of her. So I'm seeing like everything, like her interaction on Instagram, on Snapchat. Like, it gets annoying because it's overwhelming too, because it's all at once. It's all coming at you. So like I said, if you have an iPad or your MacBook, have it come to your other devices other than your cell phone, because you'll be getting your own text messages and notifications on top of their text messages and notifications, and that's just too much. Too much. But that's pretty much it for that. If there's anything that I missed, or if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Leave a comment below. I will try to make sure to answer everything that I can for you guys. And if you like videos like this, please let me know too. Give it a thumbs up. Please message me and let me know of any other videos that you would love to see. And I want to say thank you guys for tuning in again. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell so every time that I post. I will be trying to post twice a week. I know on Sundays I definitely will be posting. Me and hubby, Table Talk with the Francises, will be every Sunday, and then sometime during the week, I want to say probably Wednesdays or Fridays, so it'll be like Sunday and Wednesday, or Sunday and Fridays will be posting days. So guys, stay tuned, and thank you so much. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye.